Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our next chapter of SS, that is in your textbook, page number 11, Ancient Towns and Scripture. But before start the chapter, I want to clear your doubt about the book and the videos. So students, the concept of the chapter are same, only the name of the chapter, the heading of the chapter is different. So I want to clear, listen carefully. The first chapter, let's know the history, is as like as the first video of our lesson sources of history. Only the heading, the name of the chapter is different, but the concept is same. So for lesson 1, let's know the history. You have to follow the video sources of history. Is it okay? Now the second chapter in video, the second chapter, maps. So, as same as in your textbook, lesson number 12. Look in the textbook, lesson number 12, page number 69. Have you got it? Again I repeat, lesson number 12, page number 69, understanding the map. So the concept is same. So for this chapter you have to follow the lesson number, the second video, map. Is it okay? And the third video, the third chapter is citizenship. So in the your textbook there is citizenship is not there, so you have just ignore the chapter. Is it okay? You have to ignore citizenship chapter. Now next chapter, the lesson number 4, fourth video, the beginning of human life, is as same as the lesson number 2. Lesson number 2 in your textbook, page number 6, journey from primitive man to settled life. Only the chapter's name and the heading is different, but the concept is same. Is it okay? But now because books is available, so we have to follow the books. So I again repeat, first chapter, let's know the history, is as same as the first video, sources of history. Second video, maps, is as same as the chapter of understanding the map. Third, citizenship, you have ignored the video. Fourth, journey from primitive man to settled life, is as same as the beginning of human life. So for the third three chapter, you have to follow the video of that chapter. Is it okay? Now today we are going to start our next chapter, which is in your book, third chapter, page number 11, ancient towns and scripture. So let's start the next chapter of SS, ancient towns and scripture. In this chapter we will read about the earliest cities and their ruins, the Harappan civilizations, the town planning of the Harappan civilizations, the buildings, the roads, the economic life in Harappan civilization, the social life in Harappan civilizations, Harappa religion, dress and ornaments, Harappan sites in Gujarat, as well as decline of the Harappan civilization and our ancient text, our ancient books. So let's start the chapter, ancient towns and scripture. The earliest cities and their ruins. You have learnt how the earliest villages came into being during the Neolithic age. Have you remember about the Neolithic age? In the last video, I tell you about the Neolithic age, when people started to lead a settled life and practice agriculture. Gradually they started producing more food than they needed for survival. Have you remember about the Neolithic age? Okay. Therefore, there was surplus production. Surplus production means production of more food than required by the people. So some people produced food sufficient for themselves as well as the others. So now everybody did not need to take part in food production because they have also surplus production. So some people did not need to take part in food production. Is it okay? Now the others could now engage in various professions such as crafts, commerce, intellectual activities, and various other services. Cities came up where these people lived. The existence of these cities is proven from their ruins. The first ruin of such a city was found in a village called Harappa in the Montgomery district of present day Pakistan. Therefore, the civilization is known as the Harappan civilization. Since this civilization was born in the valley of river Indus, so it is also known as the Indus Valley civilization. As well as many Harappan sites were found outside the Indus Valley, especially on the supposed valley of the river Saraswati. So, some scholars prefer to call it the Saraswati civilization or Sindhu Saraswati civilization. Now, we will read about Harappan civilization. But before start the Harappan civilization, I want to clear the difference between the culture and the civilization. Culture means culture is a matter related to human life. It means it is a way of living life. And what is the meaning of civilization? Human beings create a unique system of life through their own caliber, skill, and creative skill is called civilization. The ruins of Harappa were discovered in 1920 by Rai Bahadur Dayaram Sahni. In 1920, R.D. Banerjee discovered the ruins of a civilization in Mohenjo-daro on the banks of the river Indus in the Larkana district of Sindh, also in present-day Pakistan. A series of sensational discoveries in the next 50 years revealed that around 2500 BCE, a large urban civilization flourished in a wide area of the Indian subcontinent. Apart from Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, the civilization included Kalibangan in Rajasthan, Ropar in Punjab, Lothal and Dholavira in Gujarat, Alamgirpur in Uttar Pradesh, and Rakhigadi and Banawali in Haryana, among its notable sites. A major portion of that area is now in Pakistan. Now, the town planning of the Harappan civilization. No other civilization of the ancient world had shown as much civic sense as the Harappans did. The cities of the civilizations were well developed and well planned. Organized town planning was the most important feature of the Harappan civilization. In all the places of Harappan civilization, the fort was on westward side and the colony of common people on the east side. Means the fort was on the westward side but the colony of common people on the east side. As well as the fort on the west was surrounded by a fortress. Most probably, rulers would live in the fort. Bricks were often used in their town structures. Organized house arrangement was the main feature of Harappan civilization. The houses were constructed on high platforms to protect them from floods and dampness. Dampness means moist air, humidity. Here, the main gate of the houses opened in length rather than opening towards the main road. In the Harappan civilization, the streets were parallel to the main road. Roads intersected each other at right angles. Roads and streets were organized in such a manner that the whole town could be divided into squares and rectangular sections. The evidence of nightlight system on public roads has been obtained from Harappan civilization. People of Harappan civilization had a highly developed and systematic sewage system for disposal of used water. The water from each house flowed into a small sewer and from it into a large sewer. From the large sewer, the water flowed out of the town, means city. Public buildings. A number of impressive buildings have been found in the Harappan sites. The largest building of Harappa was the Great Granary. The surplus grain was stored here. There were circular brick platforms for threshing grain. There were small rooms, probably for the workers to stay. The granary could have worked as a bank as well and might have distributed grain in crisis. A similar, though smaller granary has been found in Mohenjo-daro as well. The largest structure of Mohenjo-daro is known as the public bath. There was a pond used for public bath. This has been found in Mohenjo-daro. There were steps arranged on both the sides to get into it. There were changing rooms around the pond. The pool had pipes for fresh water to come in and dirty water to go out. It is assumed that the bath was used for religious purposes. However, it could have just been a public bath or swimming pool as well. Another major building of Mohenjo-daro was probably its town hall, where the residents of the city gathered. It had arrangements for a huge number of people to sit together. It could have been a place for political meetings, religious ceremonies, civic gatherings, or cultural performances. Okay, children, today we have read about the earliest cities and their ruins, the Harappan civilizations, the town planning of the Harappan civilizations, and public buildings. I hope you understood these points of the chapter. We will continue this chapter in our next video. Till then, you read carefully the chapter Ancient Towns and Scripture. Thank you for watching this video.